boy. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Beantown Breakdown, episode 2. So, first episode went fantastic. We had downloads on multiple different platforms. So, that was really cool. We had a couple of reviews come through as well, so thank you guys for that. It really does mean the world. I know this episode is a little bit late. I wanted to get an episode out to you guys on Monday, but there was like road work directly outside of the room that I record in, and it was loud as can be. They were like breaking concrete and like digging holes to put pipe down, and I went to record. I did a little sample, and all you could hear was the road work in the back, and that was the only window I had to record. So we're getting it done today. We're releasing this on Wednesday. Game 6 is tomorrow. The Celtics are unfortunately down 3-2. But just so you guys know, when things like that happen, where you're like, okay, why? Like, when's this episode gonna, come out? Like, I thought it should be out by now. Just make sure to follow my socials below, and I'll give you guys updates in my Discord and on my Twitter, all that good stuff. So if you do enjoy the podcast, just make sure to give it 5 stars, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try to make this pretty quick, and we're going to stick to the Celtics, seeing as, their season could be coming to an end. So the first thing that I'll say is just I'm having a flashback, boys. Like, this whole Bruins thing. Heartbreak is incoming again. I feel it. No, just kidding. But we will see. We will see what happens. So, Game 6, like, the Celtics in general just played terrible all around. Absolute stinker, as they call it. At one point, we were down 21 points. They got out rebounded. The Sixers shot 50% from the field, and we shot 39%. We just got outplayed. They wanted it more than we did, and we really couldn't get anything going. It was like pretty sad to see, honestly. And if you guys watched episode 1 and some of my other videos on YouTube, I've been like dumping on James Harden, and when he put up 45, I was like, there ain't no way he's gonna do that again. But since I said that, he's done it again, and he also had a good game last game. He didn't put up as many points, but I mean, he also, he had like 20 points and 10 assists. So it's not like he had a bad game. So I'm sorry, Harden, but hopefully you suck these next 2 games. Anyways, if he does, but one thing is, like, if he is able to play like that again, is there any chance that we could win? I mean, if he puts up, say, 30 points, is there any way we can, like, fight them off when they do? And Embiid has a good game as well. Is there any way we could beat them when that happens, or do we just need Harden to have a mediocre game to win? Because I'm not entirely sure. And that kind of brings me to, our superstars versus their superstars. Tatum had 36 points. Brown had 24, and Brown only had 2 assists. Harden had 17 points with 10 assists, so he, even though his points were lower, he was still, had a double-double and still was, going off. They had a Maxey game. They had someone step up. Maxey had 30 points, and Embiid had 33 points. Now, you guys are probably thinking, like, okay, cool, why are you bringing this up? So this brought me to a big question. And, Brown has been really good this series. And, when the 76ers are, when their stars are outscoring them, I think Brown should take that personally and say, hey, Tatum's got 36, or, Harden, Embiid, Maxey, they have more, like, a lot more points than I do. I'm supposed to be the superstar on this team next to Tatum. I need to take my shit to the next level. And, sometimes I feel like he's just, like, satisfied with the 23 points or whatever he gets. And I don't know if that's okay, because I know he has it in him to bring it to that next level. So when Brown, like I said, he does have meaningful points, and he does play great, but I think he just has another gear in him that he needs to find and get to, especially like in these playoffs. Now our role players like when Brown does score like those 25 24 points, 26 points, 23, like he's been right around that mark the whole time. And our role players are also putting up points. Yeah, we've won games, but last night was just absolutely horrible from our other like role players. Brogdon, 7 points, 3 of 9 from the field. White, 7 points, 2 of 6 from the field, and 0 and 2 from the 3 point line. And oh yeah, I'm not done, guys. This one's Horford, 0 for 14 from the 3 point line in the field, 0 points. So, with me saying this, is Brown going to be able to take over a game and bring it to that next level? Like I said, I know he could be, because obviously Harden was able to do that and steal a couple of games for the Sixers, but will Brown be able to do that? Tatum will also have points, but, if Brown gets 30, 35 and pushes us over the limit when our key players aren't playing well, like Brogdon, like Smart played all right. I think he had like 15 points, but like half of them were from the free throw line. So it's like when our role players, our bench players, aren't playing well, can Brown go off and win us a game? So my question to you guys is do we need more from Jaylen Brown? Do you guys think that he's capable of taking a game over and winning it for us, just like Harden did? Or I mean, I guess you could say Maxey kind of did that last night. He put up 30. It wasn't 24. I think Jaylen Brown is definitely capable of doing that personally. And, you know, I think we may need it out of him this series if we're gonna win, you know. But guys, call the voicemail. We unfortunately didn't get any last time. But you know what I was thinking is you guys could call the voicemail, but if you're not comfortable doing that, you can also text with a thought or a question. The number is 774-277-8273. And let me know what you think. Do we need more from Brown? Is it capable of stealing us a game? Let me know. So I said earlier, Tatum had 36 points. And, when you look at that number, you're like, oh, damn, he had a great game. And I think that he's getting a lot of scrutiny, but I mean, and I understand why to a point, but he did have 36 points, guys. So, I mean, yeah, he didn't start. He didn't start hot, and that's the issue that we're gonna get into. But I mean, the people that are really getting on his back, it's like, okay, yeah, he didn't start very good, and that's a big issue, and we're gonna need him to start well going forward. But I mean, the whole game he did well. So I mean, come on, guys, get off his back a little bit. So in these next two games, Tatum is definitely gonna need to get it going earlier because the team falls in a hole in the beginning, and we just can't climb out of it. Yeah, Tatum tries to dig us out, but then all the other players, in turn, when Tatum's missing or not, running the offense the way he should be, all the other players, it feels like they get out of sync, and then we're just 21 points down, and then we start playing well and coming back. But and it wasn't even the stars who brought us back into the game; it was the bench players. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, one of the keys to winning this next game is Tatum really needs to come out, and he needs to put up 36, but he needs to start hot. He needs to not get 2 points in the first half. That he did that one game. I'm not sure. I can't remember. All the games are mixing together. I can't remember if that was last game or the game before, but I know he had 2 points in a half in one of the two games, last two games. So that's just like unacceptable, and we need to have him play better at the beginning. And I think that he will, but we'll see. So, the Celtics defense was just absolutely horrendous last game. I mean, Grant Williams had two stupid fouls on Embiid. Like when I was watching those, I'm like, oh my god, like I understand like he's trying to be aggressive and stuff, but sometimes it's like you're starting to get them in a groove when you do stupid shit like that. Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble again, and in my opinion, he should not be guarding Harden. So, what adjustments do you think that you guys think they should make? And what should Missoula do? Should he switch people? Like I said, I don't think Brown should be on Harden. But what adjustments do you think the guys could make? Well, who could they switch out? Who could they bring in? There's got to be something. And one thing I will say is after these games, like their press conferences, it just seems like they're like oh yeah, there's really nothing we can do now. Like it is what it is. It's like, okay, well, there is something you can do, and that's make adjustments and, whether it's offensively or defensively, and be better. It just seems like that, the energy and the motivation is not there for a lot of people, including Brown. Like Brown just seemed like he was just in the dumps last time and he wasn't even like pissed off. Like it just seemed like he was like upset and discouraged, which was really weird. And it would be interesting to see what he does, um, you know, come next game. So, that brings me to my next thing. The whole Boston media has been on uh, Missoula, like calling for his job, all that stuff. So, how much blame do you think Missoula has if we lose this series? Like that timeout in Game 4, do you guys think that he should have called that? I mean, personally, I don't think so because, yeah, Smart didn't get the shot off in time, but if it was a half second before, then we would have won the game. So I mean, I don't really know. I can understand some people's point when they say, "Oh, we could have two chances," and da 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 da. It's like, okay, well, the way they did it worked, but it just wasn't quick enough, in my opinion. So I thought I was fine. I was fine with it. But after the game last night, the Missoula said that the Celtics played like really bad, and I actually am glad that he said that, and I'm glad that he's being straightforward because sometimes it seemed like there was like there was a couple press conferences where it seemed like he like wasn't holding the guys accountable and was just kind of like beating around the bush. So now that he just came out and straight said that straightforward, I hope like the guys hear it and I hope it really gets them going. Like, all right, yeah, we played like shit. Missoula is even saying it now to the media, like let's like light a fire under our ass and get it going. So I wrote down some questions because I really want to hear your guys' opinions on this Missoula thing. Um, and make sure to call in or text with your thoughts on this. But I wrote down some questions to give you guys an idea of what I'm looking for. So the number, first of all, is 774-277-8273. You can call or text it and just leave a voicemail or message me and say, hey, this is so and so, and then your thought or a question you have for me or whatever it may be. This show will be a lot better when I do start getting voicemails. So I'd love it if you guys called in. It would be great. So some of the questions I had, and we'll get more into my thoughts on each of these questions after we see what happens with this series. But so is Missoula getting outcoached by Doc Rivers? Everyone and their mother is saying yes. I'm not quite so sure about that. I mean, maybe by a little bit, but some people are making it seem like it's leaps and bounds. So let me know what you guys think about that. And if we do lose this series, like, how much blame does Missoula have? Was it his adjustments, the timeout situation, not holding players accountable? I mean, at the end of the day, guys, this is his second playoff series ever. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's going to be growing pains when you start anything. And obviously being an NBA head coach in the playoffs is not easy. And I don't think he's really losing us games. Some people will say that, but I don't necessarily think so. I mean, yeah, I do think there might have been a couple mistakes, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the players, like a lot of the stuff that the players are doing. So let me know what you guys think about the Missoula situation. Should his job be in question? Is he not to blame at all and it's more on the players? 774-277-8273, guys. Let me know. So, like I said, I wanted to make this short and sweet because I might make another episode after Game 6. We will see. But if you are follow the podcast, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, follow the YouTube channel, turn on the notification bells. You guys will see when the episode drops. So, Game 6, tomorrow night. Preview and prediction. So, the Celtics obviously were here last year, and they were able to come back and win. I think that a lot of people say that the Celtics always play down to the other team's skill level. And I think they've been doing that to a point, but I also think that it's like when the game becomes do or die is when they really play their best. So I think I'm still going to take Celtics in 7, guys. I think they can do it. The most important game will be this next game. I think I don't think I'll be too worried if we do make it to Game 7. I think Game 7 is probably a lock. I'm more worried about this. But some of the keys to this game is, we spoke about a few of these, is Tatum starting early. We need him to come out. We need him to be hitting his shots, or if he's getting doubled, whatever it may be, set up some guys for assists or open shots. Just get the offense rolling. Because if you don't, we're going to fall behind, and then other people are trying to force shots, force offense, and it's just not going to work. So Tatum, do the smelling salts or something, and just come out sprinting up and down that court. Next, I think that Brown may need to step it up if the other players aren't playing so well. If they're having a night like they did last night, can Brown come out and put up 30 points, put up 35 points, and help us to a win? But Horford, Brogdon, White, they also need to step it up as well. So, with that being said, guys, I have a good feeling about this Game 6. We'll see what happens, but I think that we can take it. And one last thing I'll say, and one funny thing that I heard on a couple other podcasts is, Pritchard and Hauser, when they came on at the end, it looked like they had like a ton more energy than our starters. And the only reason the game was, within 12 points was because it was because of them. Like they were like plus, I'm pretty sure Pritchard was like plus 14, plus 12. So this was one thing I wanted to say, and you never know, it could happen. Say Smart, say Brogdon, say White, say Horford, say they aren't playing well, say we're down 20 points and they're just missing shots and they're just not doing well. Why not throw those guys in? Give them a run. Well, the season's about to end anyways. If those players aren't doing anything, might as well throw the bench players in. Maybe they bring us back in it, get the team going. I wonder if Missoula would do that. Let me know what you think, guys. Or should he play these guys more in general? That's another thing I wonder in Game 6. Is if it gets like spicy and it's a fight, I wonder if he just starts throwing in a couple guys, switching it up that the Sixers might not be ready for. I would live for that shit. I really would. So, thank you guys for watching and listening. Much appreciated. I will be back either after Game 6 or when the series is over. That which might be both of those things, but I'll be back within the next week for sure. Make sure to give the podcast 5 stars, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, all that good stuff. Make sure to check out my YouTube where I post daily betting videos, join the community Discord, all that good stuff. But thank you guys. Let's go Celtics. Peace.